Ever wondered why the dwellers of the deep are strange off-hue far from beautiful denizens that exist down in the lowest, chilliest pressure cooking similar conditions in the ocean basin? Anglerfish, giant squid, and viperfish are constructed to withstand the extremes to survive them, but why are they converging? A natural phenomenon, or perhaps something darker enigma, part of some bigger darkness scheme? Let us move along and do away with this peculiar enigma and trace it to its conclusion. And a little background on the deep sea itself to get into the mood. A region where sunlight can't reach, where pressure is so intense that it would happily squash a submarine, and where temperature is exactly a degree above zero. That's where they reside, far down in the ocean, and they've just kind of arranged things so that they can be like bioluminescence, light producing and pressure resistant bodies and metabolisms at glacial speeds so that energy is conserved. These are not normal fish, these are something out of a science fiction movie. They have returned once more, even close to the surface these days, and that is bringing very many questions. Let us count the reasons. One of the reasons for global warming is a very basic one. The oceans are warming up and are disrupting deep-sea societies. Rise in temperature will change oceanic currents, oxygenate oceans, and even reorganize prey animals. Polar ice cap melting, for instance, is changing temperature and salinity at depth, and it could be driving some organisms to the surface to create new societies. Then there's ocean pollution. Our oceans are filled with plastic waste, chemical runoff, and microplastics that are infiltrating every level of the food chain. Deep-sea creatures, which are highly sensitive to changes in their environment, might be fleeing polluted depths in search of cleaner waters. Imagine living in a place that's suddenly filled with trash you'd want to leave too, right? It is further caused by overfishing. Man is drilling deeper and deeper into the sea, sucking out the sea of fish and other seafoods. It may be pushing deep-sea predators closer to the surface to eat. If, for example, natural food of giant squid is being decreased, it will have to migrate to shallow water. Natural phenomena such as seafloor earthquakes, volcanoes, or change in ocean currents can be the culprit. The natural phenomena may transport deep-sea animals from their home, employing powerful currents. Deep-sea animals washing up on the beach following some of these massive earthquakes can be explained by some of these interactions. And let's not forget scientific exploration. With advances in technology like ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, and deep-sea cameras, we're able to explore the ocean like never before. This means we're capturing more footage of deep-sea creatures, even if they've always been there. But this doesn't fully explain why some creatures are physically coming to the surface. Okay, and then there was the enigma of the Leviathan. The Leviathan was an ancient sea monster legend, and more frequently a monstrous deep-sea creature of gigantic size. These tales can be discounted as myth, but they very well may have been accounts of actual events. These were the kind of things such as gargantuan deep-sea creatures like the giant squid, or even forms of life unknown. Still more have written on recent surfacing and beaching of deep-sea animals. Images of giant squid photographed off the Gulf of Mexico in 2020, and in 2022 an oarfish that appeared on a beach, or messengers of sea gods, are just two more sensationalized examples. Rumor and speculation about what is occurring. The Leviathan myth has been translated into fuel for even more rumor and interest. Why is that then? Even though an event like this is fascinating, all the causes mentioned above, climate change, pollution, overfishing, and natural events, are to blame for this. A giant squid, for example, appears when its preferred food cannot be found in the deeper regions, or whenever its path is congested by changed ocean currents. Short answer: it's a mysterious process bringing deep-sea life to the surface. It's probably induced by human processes such as global warming, pollution, and overfishing, and by natural processes such as earthquakes beneath the ocean. It's all too easy to look at this as some kind of evil or occult sign, but it's also proof of how dependent our world is, and how human activity can create revolutionary, sweeping change. The sea covers over 70% of our world, and we've only charted 5%. The abyss of the oceans is still one of the remaining frontiers of our world that we haven't set foot to discover, holding secrets that are yet to be uncovered. But so far and so deep as we go to the frontiers of our world's discovery, so too must we assume our role of guardians of this delicate system. Because the health of our world and of our oceans and of ours is ever linked, and that of our world and of the future of our world is ever intertwined with that of our oceans. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe for further in-depth investigations of the enigmas of our world. Remember to share your own opinions on this phenomenon. Is it a natural phenomenon, or is something bigger on the horizon? And if you do want to continue with the protection of our seas and the preservation of our sea creatures, then for goodness sake, do not forget to make a few donations to organizations that preserve sea creatures. Any little bit will help.